Okay. Okay, we're not wrong. Do that. Yes. I was doing something a little weird. Trying to get this device. Okay. So when it's on that, we can turn it all the way. Okay, I'm practicing in the meantime, family. Okay. You can do whatever you want. This is just while I'm here, family. Um, trying out my new gadget. It's giving me a run for my money. Keep going to this. Come on. It's keeping locked. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's get it to okay. What do I want to say? Sheesh. Oh yeah, family, I was just working with my new gadget. And it was acting up a little bit. Lately I have been moved to sit here on the patio and practice mindfulness to reflect on my day, to reflect on my feelings, how I felt, how things have made me feel. And from my patio, I'm able to see the sunset really well. It's a little cloudy, so you're unable to see it. But when it's not cloudy, it's magnificent. It's beautiful. So I'm able to see and I'm able to see the beautiful sky. The view is really good. And I sit here and I reflect on my day because self reflection is so important. Shalom, my love. I don't remember if I said that. Shalom. Self reflection is so important. Sorry, I don't speak any, but I'm always willing to learn. How are you? So, yes, family, as I was saying, practicing mindfulness is so important. Reflecting on how your day was, how you felt, why you felt the way you felt is really important instead of internalizing. Reflecting on our day, how our day was. For me, currently, it's evening time, approximately. The sun just set in my region where I'm located, and that's what I was watching and reflecting on my day, basically. So I wanted to share something because it was in my spirit to do so. And I'm just showing you guys how beautiful, how beautiful the sky is. So that is something I wanted to show because I think it's just awesome. So as I was saying before, reflecting on your day, practicing mindfulness is really important. Okay? Because that is how you get to learn about yourself. That is how you grow. That is how you become emotionally stable, emotionally and mentally, because they're often one and the same. That is how you get to understand what you like, what you don't like, what trigger you, what don't trigger you, instead of self internalizing. Because oftentimes we do a lot of that. We internalize things. You know, something happened in our day, and there's always going to be something happen in our day. But what we often do is when something happens, we basically, oh, it's okay. I'm all right. But you weren't okay, and it's okay to say that I wasn't okay. That is part of the journey, that is part of the healing process, to be able to say I wasn't okay, this affect me. We cannot lie to ourselves, because subconsciously we are teaching ourselves to lie to ourselves, to not really face our truths, to not really face how we feel and how things make us feel. Okay, so for me, that's something I practice a lot, and a lot of people don't like it. They want you to pretend, they want to put up a wall and pretend like things are not happening, pretending like this does not affect me, this did not hurt me, and that is not real growth. That is not real discipline. Outside of being my fun, energetic self, I'm very disciplined and very structured. It was part of my childhood nurturing. I'm very, when it's business, it's business. When it's pleasure, it's pleasure. So that is kind of how I operate now, because I see functionality in it. Yes, I do go back and I do remove things that is not necessary. Things that I see that was negative and was not good, I do evaluate it and I remove it if it's not what's best for my life now. But I thank the Most High God for everything that I was able to receive, even in the bad, even in the pain, there was good, because I channeled the good. It wasn't good because it happened. Focus on finding the good in it. What have it done for me now? So that is mostly how I operate, but I just want to share that backstory and then we'll move forward. So I'm speaking to anyone right now that is a seer, a dreamer, a oracle, um, a sixth sense, a third eye, whatever people call you, I'm speaking to you. When you see something in a vision, in a dream. Vision is when you're actually awoke and you see something as plain as day. And then the dream is, of course, when you're sleeping and you dream something and it come to pass. I'm a seer. From I was a child, that was something I was able to see. I was able to sense and see things that was not present to the physical eyes, even though I did not understand it. I didn't know that this is the reason why I was troubled a lot, because I was seeing things that other people was not seeing, and I was experiencing things that others weren't experiencing as well. And I say that to say I want to encourage you to stay true to yourself, stay obedient to what you're hearing when you're hearing it, what you're seeing when you're seeing it, because that's something I used to struggle with. And because I was disobedient in the sense of I did not listen, I didn't want to listen. A lot of things happened to me that could have been avoided, that I was given the blueprint to before it happened. But because I did not understand it, I choose to ignore it. So, not because you do not understand something, mean that you should ignore. Okay? That doesn't mean that. So I want to encourage you to stay true no matter if people lied on you, no matter if people call you bad names, people call you witch, people call you warlock, people call you all kind of unrighteous, unholy names. Do not let it get to you. Do not let it dismay you. Continue to stay true to who you are. Continue to pray and surround yourself with people that share the same values, share the same mindsets, to be like-minded. Because when you have a gift such as being a seer, a dreamer, people are gonna envy you. People are gonna be hateful towards you. People are gonna say mean and unrighteous things, discouraging things to discourage you from continuing, discourage you from liking and loving your actual gift. And I'm speaking from experience because that was something that happened to me because I was not strong. I was, of course, younger. So when you're younger, you're spiritually immature to a sense. And that's part of growing. When you are a child, you're immature. As you age, you're supposed to become more and more mature. And that's how you build up your spiritual and your emotional senses. So I'm going to tell you all a dream I had. And please, my bells, my loves, please listen to this very carefully. About it probably 4 years now, in the middle of COVID. I think it was in the middle of COVID. I had started to read my Bible more than I ever had in my life. Before, I used to just pick up my book and read the Psalms, but I decided to read the Bible. I decided, okay, I was being led, being prompted to read. So I started reading. I opened the Bible and I started reading, starting from Genesis. And I remember I joined a ministry online of the Hebrew Israelite ministry. At the time they were called not Reset, they were called Zion Music Ministry. And we were learning about the ancient ways of how the people lived in the Bible and the Hebrew dynamic and so forth and on. And so I was reading my Bible like every day. I would spend 4, 5, 6 hours reading because that's what I was being led to do. And so one night, family, I went to my bed and I dreamt that the lady that was over the ministry, I dreamt that I saw her in a vision. And we were in a garden full of different plants, roses, all sort of plants, different shape, different sizes. And I remember I was calling her because she was someone I had grown to really love because I respected her based on their teaching and what they were professing to represent spiritually. And so I was smiling. I remember I called her Queen and I was like, Queen, come look. Oh my gosh, come look at these plants. They're so beautiful. They're growing so beautifully. Look at the growth in them. Those were my exact words, family. And I remember she looked at me and she turned her head, and at that moment she was with two other girls whom their faces was not visible for me to see. I didn't know who they were. And she turned to them, and when she turned in the vision, I was able to see her face. She was smirking, like mocking me, like when she turned towards them, she was mocking me, like doing some little crazy faces, like blah, 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 blah. But when she turned back to me, she had like a fake smile to show like she's in agreement and she's with me. And um, I didn't understand the dream. So I was like puzzled in my soul. And I was like, why would she be laughing at me? Why is she laughing? That was not nothing to laugh about. I'm showing her growth. I'm showing her life. I'm showing her people healing and being renewed. And I didn't understand why she was laughing. So I remember in the dream how I felt. I felt something like like an anger, like why would she laugh in this time? And that's something I want to pause and encourage you. And if you are a dreamer, pay attention to how you feel in the dream. Pay attention to what's happening.